I've got to go to this clip again. I'm sorry. I know I've showed it before, but I just can't get over this. This is Van Jones, national commentator, CNN, had his own show. But more importantly, he served in the Obama administration early on. Here's Van Jones saying that, hey, if we need something, now we have a formula. We get out the doctors, we get out the mobs, we get out the bombs, the Molotov cocktails, we threaten, and we get it done. This is our new formula, Van Jones.
Is this something new? Waking up this morning, what, if anything, is different?
This was not the system working. This was people making the system work. That's the key. Don't forget, Keith Ellison put so many resources on the table. You've never seen a prosecution like that of anybody. I mean, you go back to John Gotti days to make sure that the right thing happened. And so what happened is the voting worked. You can tell the young people now, voting matters. The protesting worked. You can tell young people, marching matters. So there's a formula now that you can begin to show people we can make the system work.
Unbelievable. We can make the system work by rioting, looting, burning city downs, and throwing Molotov cocktails and projectiles at police and shooting people. I mean, it's like, what? I just can't get it. And then you got Keith Ellison in Minnesota basically acting as if he's the front person for Antifa. I mean, this is a national figure basically saying, hey, if we need something done, we can't trust the system. We need to intimidate through mob rule. Sheriff?
Well, Van Jones is correct. It is the strategy. It is working because there's not an effective counter. Look, this is not a new strategy. This is the same strategy that was employed during the 60s, the racial strife and the riot of the 60s, where we had a more effective counter. But some of the police tactics that were tried during the 60s failed, and they didn't. And after action reports, because I've studied this stuff, they went back and these police agencies said, we shouldn't have used the stand down. We shouldn't have used the appeasement. We should have brought reasonable force. And if that didn't work, to up the ante until you get that right amount of force. It's a sweet spot. Okay, you don't just mow people down and club people to death, but you got to find that sweet spot. But you have to have people with the courage, with a backbone, for heaven's sakes, to entrust their people in the field, like I did when I was the sheriff. I handled a riot. The riot lasted one night. Put an end to it. That was it. And made it very clear with the public where that line was. You know, if you show these idiots from Antifa and Black Lives Matter a very bright line, most of them will follow it. I think they're out there looking for that line. They're saying to themselves, how much can we push? How much can we get away with? And there just seems to be no limit. So until there's a more effective counter strategy, you're going to continue to see businesses destroyed, cities burned, lives lost.